Hi, Leather Rokk here. Today I want to show you an easy black matte smoky eye look, and I want to talk about a trend I noticed among a lot of makeup artists lately that are finding new, more complicated ways to do easy makeups that add a whole bunch of extra steps. And I'm looking at their techniques and I'm noticing I don't understand why they need to make things so complicated. And to illustrate the point, I'm going to show you how I did this smoky eye. Now, before I do my usual technique of taking off half of it, let me talk a little bit about this. Now, I do try to be current by watching other makeup artists, and I read a lot of fashion magazines, and I've been doing my own face since my teens, like I guess most women. And I like to be open to learning new techniques, but sometimes you have to stop and think, are some of these techniques truly necessary? Now, I used only 2 eyeshadows for this look. I see sometimes for looks kind of similar to this, I see a whole bunch of different natural looking shadows that are applied first, and then they go and cover the eyelid up with the dark shade. It's the only one that you actually end up seeing. And first I tried experimenting with these looks as they did them, and I noticed that in the end of the day you couldn't tell a difference. And so I'm thinking, you know what, there's nothing wrong with the technique that I've been using all these years that worked for me, looked pretty much identical in pictures, had the same wear time, even considering that they have products available now that allow the makeup to last longer. We have longer wearing formulations, we have better waterproof things. Of course, a lot of these products are higher end than I have been able to afford, so that doesn't mean that I know of them personally. But I'm going to show you how I achieved this, and I actually only used 2 colors. Now, there's more than one way to achieve this look. I happen to use for this the BH Cosmetics ZODIAC palette that I really like so much. One of the interesting features about this is it has mattes and shimmers, and it comes with its own highlights, so I didn't need to go and use the separate highlighting palette, even though I love BH Cosmetics black light highlight palette. But this color here, let me turn the light out for a second. One thing I love about this frosty white here is it seems to have gold flecks in it. And it's not a real harsh white, it's a soft white. Let me make sure that I don't have the light on too bright here. Okay, I really know that I need to get better lighting, but I've got what I have, and just because you have equipment doesn't mean it won't break in you, because I'm still using the original built-in webcam in this computer, which is actually my mother's computer, because I still haven't gone to Best Buy to take my original purple computer, which is actually my 3rd computer, but we won't even go there, and getting this webcam fixed that for some reason had stopped working. So without further ado, I'm going to get into this tutorial. Now, as I've been doing, I am going to be using coconut oil, and I actually got to cook with the coconut oil earlier today. I made my spaghetti and clams with the white clam sauce, which is kind of a family recipe, but through the years I've tweaked it, and originally it called for quote-unquote vegetable oil, and I have been using coconut oil because we're out of olive oil and stuff, and you can use coconut oil to substitute pretty much for any other oils. So, but as far as a makeup remover goes, I love coconut oil, and I mean, it doesn't make my skin feel clogged up like when you use petrochemicals, and in fact I don't even need to use this much. Now keep in mind, if you're actually using coconut oil to wash your face, you're going to have to go over it 3 or 4 times to really feel that you're doing a good job taking the makeup off. Now, this is going to make a mess, which is probably why I don't know that anybody else takes it off on camera like this. I mean, maybe some people do, I don't know. I mean, I never set out in life to be a copycat, And so I don't want to ever seem like I am really following trends. I mean, I like to be aware of what's going on, but as far as conforming to things, that's never been my style. So the main reason why I like to keep current with things is just to have an idea of what the quote-unquote competition's doing, and plus meeting new people and learning new things, and maybe you get to collaborate with people. You find ways that they can help you out and you can help them out, or you join forces on projects that people can agree with. Like for me, I would jump at any kind of cat rescue things to do with saving cats. I'm all for that. Now, see, this is going to take a little bit more of an effort to take everything off, because I use one of my old eyeliners that I complain is not waterproof enough. And as you can see here, it obviously has some kind of waterproof qualities, because even this oil is taking a little bit more effort to take off, but it is removing. I think the last time I did this, I messed up some of the eyebrow thing too, because these things will smear real easily. Okay, alright, now we can get started. And this time I was smart and I remembered to bring the washcloth so that I could get rid of the oily film residue that gets in the eyes. Yeah. Okay. That good? Alright. So, I like to start off, assuming that I had just taken all my makeup off, I like to start off with these ampules that I break the glass and put the funnel on, and this is a seaweed extract that is supposed to help the skin renew itself, and supposed to have anti-aging properties and all that stuff. And I've only been using it for about half a year, and I don't think that's enough time to be able to tell if there's an improvement as far as skincare goes. You have to really be willing to put in the time, and I got all of those seaweed ampules that I could find when I bought them. Here, to refresh your memory, this is what I'm talking about. The Tony Alge from France. And this is 95% seaweed and 5% avocado oil. And they don't have preservatives. And I noticed one time I opened one and used half of it, and I set it aside, and I found it 2 weeks later, and it had grown moldy. So they definitely do not have preservatives, just so you know. Okay, underneath the eyelid, I used Max Factor First Coat. Now, because the color that I'm using on the actual color is so dark, I could in theory have gotten away with any of a number of things as coating for this. I have a where is it? I have something. Oh, here it goes. I have something that's much darker than my skin tone that I could have in theory used. This kind of looks like a you know, the cover sticks for under eye circles and stuff. This here is by e.l.f. It says eye primer and liner sealer, but for light it's too dark for me. But when you're wearing a really dark eyeshadow, you can get away with a darker coating because it's going to be covered up anyway. Now, whenever you're putting anything on the eyes, this goes without saying, but you want to pat, you don't want to pull, and you don't want to stretch, because the older we get, skin loses elasticity, and you don't want to do anything to encourage wrinkling. You really don't. Because what if you pulled your skin and it didn't bounce back? You wouldn't be happy. Now that we have this on, this will give the eyeshadow something to grab onto. And I've got two brushes because that's all I need for the eyes for this. Now, the first brush here, this is a BH Cosmetics brush that actually came with the Nude Rose Nightfall palette. And I'm going to sweep this lightly. I don't want a real dazzling effect here. I'm going to sweep this, dab this lightly in this, the highlight from this, and I'm going to, now this you got to be careful. If you have tacky, moist eyebrow makeup on like I do, you don't want to get too close to the eyebrow because you will invariably smear it, and you'll get pink above, which is not part of this look. I'm not saying it might not be an attractive look, but it's not part of this look. I'm sweeping this carefully just to get a little bit of. Now you can use, feel free to use any, now if you're very pale like me, you can use any white or off-white. You can use a matte or you can use a shimmer. This does have shimmer to it, but you can control, by how much you can control the shimmer. The point is you want something that is close to your natural skin color, maybe a little bit lighter, because this will serve both as a color, as a skin color, and as a highlight. So after you put that on, and I'm guessing it looks close enough to the other side, then we get started with the dark color. Now, again, you don't need a lot on the brush. Now, for two reasons. Number one, this stuff does blend out very well. Number two, you want to avoid getting the crumblies underneath, because I did my foundation already. A lot of people, sometimes I'll do the foundation above, like from here up, and then I'll do my eyebrows, because you have to do your foundation before you do your eyebrows. But maybe I won't do the foundation down here until after I've done my eye makeup, just so that when the crumblies happen, it doesn't mess up your makeup. Obviously, I did the makeup first, so let's hope I don't get too many crumblies. Now, I just barely have to touch it. Now, this brush, I think, is one of the brushes I got at the 99-cent store from a company called Vivace, V-I-V-A-C-E, if that's even how it's pronounced. Maybe it's Vivace, who knows. Probably made in China. Okay, see how I'm going to do. Another reason not to sweep too much is that makes more crumblies. Now, I'm kind of going a little bit past the crease. Especially if your eyes are starting to sag some and they're getting a little bit hooded. You want to go a bit beyond the crease, because that way it just looks better. It really does. This is such an easy look. Now my challenge is just making sure that both sides match. But it's really easy. Now, I didn't do the tape that I do a lot of times to make sure that things are symmetrical. You know, I have standard techniques, but I don't do them the exact same way all the time. I mean, sometimes I forget and I don't have things handy, and I don't feel like making a mess digging for things, you know? How does that look? Does that look kind of symmetrical? Okay, now we're going to start with the eyeliner. Now, I broke out one of my original eyeliners. This is the Maybelline UltraLiner Waterproof. I used this eyeshadow, this eyeliner, for years. Oh, wait. I just noticed something. These aren't as symmetrical as I want. You see, this is not as close to the top as the other one. I have to raise it a little bit more. See, another reason why you want to do, in this case, you want to use your highlight color first, is because if you were to do it afterward, if say I did the dark color first and then I put the highlighter on top, what would end up happening is I would get too much blending. I would get the highlighter mixed in with the black. It would muddy up. Plus, there would be a chance also of my getting it in the eyebrow makeup, which we don't want. See, now does that look better? Alright, now, what I was saying, this eyeliner I kind of don't use anymore because I believe they changed their formula. It runs on me now. It doesn't give me the reliability that I would expect with a waterproof eyeliner. In other words, like if I go out and I'm going to a concert or I'm at a public event and people do grab me to take pictures quite frequently, and it's pretty embarrassing when you have to interrupt the session because you could feel that your eyeliner is wet and makeup is streaking down your face. Nobody appreciates that. Plus, people kind of sort of would like to think that maybe we woke up like this, and so if you are spending a bunch of time dabbing at your face and everything, it kind of ruins the mystique. Okay, I'm going to do this to make it easier to see. I realized the last time I was doing makeup on camera, I did some things off of frame, and that was not my intention, so. Usually I do the top eye first, but sometimes it's good to do the bottom eye first, and I'll tell you why. Because when you're deciding what angle to do the wing, if you start the top and you don't stop and see what this is doing, this is following the line of your eye, and this shows you what the angle is going to be. So you let that dry, and you definitely do want to let these dry so that it doesn't smudge on you. Once it dries, it will stay put, but I'm using this because I do want to use it up, but to use it, wear it out of the house when my eye is going to run. And I notice when this comes off, it kind of peels off in strips too, I noticed. Okay, this down is dry enough so I can start. And the eyeliner isn't going to be that obvious on the sides because you're dealing with such an opaque eye. Tabby boy, no. Can I ever shoot a video where I'm not yelling at one of my cats? No, and I really don't want to yell at them. We got Tabby boys in the room and Ace is in the room, and unfortunately Ace is not doing too well. Ace is going to turn 14 on 4/20. That's when we think his birthday's around that time. And Ace is technically my roommate's cat. I mean, I consider him to be my cat. And you would think if somebody knew that their cat was not doing well, you would think he would want to spend a whole lot of time with him. But my Tabby boy, stop that. My roommate would rather play poker than hang out with his cat. Oh, don't get me started. Okay, so I'm putting a mascara on. I am using, I'll show you what I'm using. I'm using the LA Colors mascara. This is the lengthening formula. This set me back all of 99 cents plus tax. Okay, I got this mascara at Dollar Tree. It holds the curl to the lashes. Tabby boy! Shh! Oh, meow at yourself too. Anyway, this holds the curl of the lashes. It's not waterproof, so it's easy to remove, but it's not something that runs right away. I have worn this in the rain, like to go mail something, or do a 7-Eleven run, and it has not run on me. And at the end of the night, after a night of dancing or whatever, it doesn't take forever to remove. You know how some waterproof mascaras and eyeliners, even with oils, they still practically have to be sandblasted off your face, and any kind of rubbing on the skin encourages wrinkles, and it's just not good to do. But this mascara comes off easily when you want it to. I wouldn't go swimming in it or anything, but I believe that people should have a repertoire of different kinds of mascaras for different occasions, just like eyeliners. I mean, I am the waterproof eyeliner queen, and I really do prefer liquid eyeliner. But I noticed this year, since I've been playing hockey with different kinds of eyeliners, I've been appreciating pencil liners a lot because for waterlining, they're the best. And if you have a decent pencil that doesn't splinter up when you sharpen it, and you have a decent sharpener, I mean, even you could spend $1 on a pencil and it could be pretty good. So, okay. Now, for my highlight, I've been using my standard. This is CoverGirl. It's an eyeshadow. It's the CoverGirl Professional Eye Enhancers, and the color is called Jammin Improvisation. And if you can tell, this is actually a really dark, muted plum purple. Doesn't have any frost in it because you don't want frost in your highlight. I have very cool tones to my skin, so I want a cool color. Now I'm not going to reapply it because I didn't take it off, but that's what, well, this is, I'm just using a real tiny little blusher brush that's probably worth about 10 cents. I didn't bother using a blush with this. I just use highlight and contour. A lot of times that's what I do. I just do the highlight and the contour, and that's it. Now, for my highlighter, this is, now a lot of times I use this smaller, this different brush. This is the brush that I use for the highlighter, and I use the convenient highlight in this that I can't say enough about. I really like a lot. Now, I've already applied it, so I probably don't need any more, but just for the hell of it, I will apply some more. And this is blendable and buildable in its coverage. It starts off being kind of on the subtle side, which is important for a highlighter because not all the time do we want things to be blinding and dazzling. And what looks right in front, sometimes when you move around, especially if you get too much on the ball of your nose, well, that's, I don't think that's what it's called, but it's kind of what it looks like. You don't want to get too much here because then it glows. It looks like you're doing a Rudolph, except instead of it being red, it's white. So, but some here, here, and here. And if I'm wearing like something strapless and cut down to here, then maybe some on the collarbones. Oh, what do you think of the shirt? Have you heard of this band, Hawthorne Heights? They're quite amazing. I don't even know if they're still together, but I saw them play at the Atlantic City House of Blues like about 5 years ago or something, and they were really amazing. Even if some people did have a mosh pit, and I got dragged into it, and security grabbed me by both my hands and pulled me out of the pit. And of course I was wearing a little dress, and some idiot in the crowd pulled up the hemline of my shirt so that it was like up, you know, and I can only imagine the pictures people were taking. And so when security grabbed me by both my hands, I didn't have a free hand to yank my hemline down. And the security's apologizing to me because he said he didn't know that I was wearing a dress. And it's like, anybody who knows me, I don't wear pants. I certainly am not going to wear pants to a club, right? But anyway, oh, when I see Ace again, I want to show you this cat. I want to show you the baby. Oh, look at that baby. Look at that baby. I'm so worried about her. This is Ace the cat. You know, at least they're not trying to go and take him to the vets to go and have him killed or something. That's the thing that makes me so mad. People are so quick to kill the pets that they love, and I don't think that's morally right. I just don't think it is. This, I consider him to be my baby. I love him so much. Look at that face. Look at that face. Oh, look at that face. I got such a sweetheart. This is Ace the cat. Okay, baby, I'm gonna put you down. I'm sure these people that are watching my video would like to do something besides watch me talk baby talk to my cat all day. Alright, so now you know another eye makeup. Easy way to do a black matte smoky eye. Don't need to use a gazillion products to do it. If what you're going to see is black and white, all you really need is black and white. Okay? It doesn't have to be complicated. Really, trust me. And I'm the queen of complicating things. It doesn't have to be complicated. Okay, if you like these videos, I would love to have you subscribe. Please, subscribe to me, hit the bell notification, because I notice if you subscribe and you don't do that bell thing, you won't know when I make my next videos. And I think you probably enjoy them. That's why you subscribe, right? You get the makeup, the club life, the cats, cannabis culture, a little bit of politics thrown in, you know, because it's my channel. I kind of like the idea that I can talk about anything I want. And hopefully you'll like it when you join the ride with me. And I will talk to you soon. Till then, bye.